Hello and welcome, my wonderful AJR fans out there. We have some really exciting news to cover regarding TMM today. Of course, we're going to be covering news about the new single, and then later on in this video, we're going to be talking about what I think the release date for this new album is going to be. Now, before we get started, if you haven't done so yet, I would highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I absolutely love to talk about AJR stuff, and of course, there's a new album coming out, so there's going to be a lot of news to cover soon. Also, if you're looking for a way to continue this conversation after this video, please join the Discord, which there's a link in the description below. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you realize that there's a different background to me because I'm not in the place where I usually shoot my videos. So just bear in mind that I don't have all the equipment as normal, so it may sound or look a little different today. So now, without further ado, let's get started talking about this new single. So it is officially confirmed that the song is going to be called The Dumb Song, which is exactly what we speculated the song title would be. And honestly, I was kind of hoping that the song title would be something different than The Dumb Song like we speculated, because I feel like they're just opening themselves up to criticism and just being like easy targets for haters. Like, it's gonna be really easy for someone to just be like, oh, The Dumb Song is really dumb. But hopefully it makes more sense in context of the full song, so we'll eventually know pretty soon. The other news about this single is that we got the release date for it, which is going to be April 21st. Of course, that's a Friday, and this was confirmed by AJR in that Twitter thread when they posted this little treasure hunt kind of thing. And I kind of wanted to go over that little puzzle that they had, just because I thought it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen it, AJR made this Twitter post that said, a new song coming and it's hiding in plain sight, and then they posted this what seemed to be plain white square. But when you downloaded the image and messed around with like the brilliance of it and other settings, it revealed a message that said The Dumb Song. And apparently other people were able to find the date underneath the title. I wasn't, I just kind of found that title. I'm like, oh, it's the title of the song, so I stopped looking for it. So yeah, the most important things to know are the title, of course, being The Dumb Song, and the date being April 21st, which is a week from this coming Friday. So the song is going to be coming super soon. We just have this Friday and then the next, and it's here, which is just crazy to think about. But I also wanted to mention that the block in that image, that white block that we got, was 1200 by 1200, which obviously is a perfect square. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I think that there's the potential that this square or this image that we saw with the title is possibly the album art. With album art, the common dimensions you see are either 1200 by 1200 or 1600 by 1600. So I think there's a potential that this could be the album art, or at least similar to what we see. I also wanted to mention that the song has been teased since the beginning of this year. So it's been kind of a while on our minds. So it's kind of exciting that it's finally going to be here. And I just wanted to open it up to you guys. So from everything that we've heard so far, I just wanted to know, are you guys excited about this? Have you heard those teasers? Like, are you looking forward to this song? Because I think that there's a potential that this is like their main single that they're going to be releasing. So it might be, you know, like one of the top songs on this album. So yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But the last thing that I wanted to mention about this song is a tweet from April 3rd, AJR tweeted, just made a new song for TMM with 6 different tempo changes, somehow works though. Now, I saw a lot of people who were like, oh, this is definitely related to the new single, The Dumb Song, and I'm not 100% sold on that. And I say this for a few reasons, because the way they put it, it almost sounded like they just finished it. They said, just made a song for on April 3rd. So I don't know timeline wise if that verbiage is intentional. They're like, oh yeah, we just finished this song that's going to be on the album, or if it was kind of just the way they phrased it. But also all the teasers that we got were all in the same tempo, so I'd be surprised if they had the teasers all in the same tempo and it was part of one specific part of the song, you know what I mean? However, if it said, oh, this song has 6 different keys, that would make a little bit more sense, because we have heard these teasers for The Dumb Song in different keys. Not to mention, a song that has 6 different tempo changes in it is, or can be, a little jarring for the listener. So I'd just be surprised if this song that's like supposed to be a lead single was just musically unorthodox in this way. So I personally think that the song that they're referencing in this tweet is actually like the intro, like the overture. And the only real reason why they may be talking about The Dumb Song is that they want to kind of just prepare us for those tempo changes. Instead of just releasing a new song that is just crazy in tempo, right? They're like, hey, we have a new song that has 6 tempo changes, wink wink. Also, we're releasing a new song very soon. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is part of this song, or do you think it's part of like an overture or something like that? And with that kind of wraps up all the discussion about the new single. Now let's talk about a potential release date for this album. So basically how I'm gonna do this is just base it off of what they've done in the past relative to their singles that they've released right before the album. So they typically would release one of the singles from the album relatively close to when the album actually comes out. So in this, I'm kind of trying to predict and pinpoint when the album would be released relative to this single release. Now, before I get started with all this discussion, I did a ton of digging, and I'm pretty sure I have all the correct dates and all the songs that are correct right before the albums, but by all means, if I did mess up, definitely let me know in the comments. There were just so many conflicting dates and singles that weren't listed as singles, so this is to my best knowledge, and if you do have a correction, make sure or 100% sure with that correction. But I appreciate you and your understanding of me for trying my best at figuring this all out. So this timeline is going to start from the living room up until now, and I just wanted to point out some general information before all this. So general things that we know are that they release an album every 2 years, and then it's always in the earlier half of the year. So starting off with Living Room, which was released on March 3rd of 2015, 4 days before that was Thirsty. Then we had June 9th of 2017, which was The Click, and 4 weeks before that was Drama. Then on April 26th of 2019, Neo Theater was released, and 3 weeks before that was Dear Winter. And then finally, OKO, which was released on March 26th of 2021, and 5 weeks before that was Way Less Sad. So we have 4 days, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, and 5 weeks. Of those, I feel like 4 days is a little bit of an outlier. So I'd like to exclude that one. Also, it's the earliest of those albums, so I think out of all these, that one's just the bizarre one. So really, we have 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and 5 weeks, which all are relatively close in proximity to each other. And using that to kind of estimate where this album could be in relative to the Dumb song, 3 weeks from April 21st is May 12th, 4 weeks is May 19th, and 5 weeks is May 26th. So if AJR is going to be in line with everything they've done in the last 3 albums, we could potentially see this album by the end of May. And I'm gonna take this a step further and say that my guess for the album release would be on May 26th. And I have a few kind of silly reasons why I think that the album might be released on the 26th. So hear me out. The first reason being that the last 2 albums were also released on the 26th of that respective month. Also, I remember them talking about how the number 13 is super important with this album. There's supposed to be like 13 songs on the album, and there's other reasons why 13 is important. Well, if you take 13 and double that, that's 26. And then lastly, Jack is going to be turning 26 this year. So I just think that this number 26 is kind of important when we look back at the history of AJR, and even till now, it kind of just seems like everything is almost aligning in a way. Now, obviously, I don't know for sure it's going to be released on that day, but that's just my guess. That's what I'm putting in right now. But if you have an idea of when you think it's going to be released, definitely let me know below. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I really wanted to go over in this video. But again, if you haven't done so yet, definitely subscribe, join the Discord server to talk more AJR and theories and all that stuff. And thank you just so much for watching to the very end. I appreciate you and can't wait for more information about AJR and TMM. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.
Ba ba da ba da ba da ba ba.